Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Danny here from Simply Do It, and I want to talk about the number one topic that I have been discussing, conversing with you guys, I would say almost on a daily basis, and this is what the heck is going on with the economy and what should I do about it as a client of Simply Do It, as an investor, etc. Before I jump in to answer, because this is a topic that been asked and talked about almost on a daily basis here with you guys, with many of you or others, I do want to mention a couple of things. Number one, I just completed a 3-part short videos, 10 minutes ish series about subject to deals, seller leaseback and seller's buyback option, and VA loan assumptions. More and more we are seeing deals like this or moving towards doing those kind of creative deals. Make sure you check that series out. That's number one. Second thing that I want to mention, May 8th, 2025, 6 p.m. We are holding an evening of a little bit of networking, a lot of education in Irvine, California. So if you are in LA, Orange County, San Diego, live in those areas, or you're visiting around that time, make sure you subscribe, you register, not subscribe to the video, register to the event, and join us for an evening in person, not online, in person. We can, shake our hands. We can even have a little hug if that's what you want, and have an education and networking and kind of getting together. I'm looking forward to it because it's been a long while since we held an in-person event. By the way, I invited a friend, Joe, to come and talk to us about market updates. Joe is way beyond a person that will talk to us about market updates. Joe is a guy who is knowledgeable about investing and real estate, and he's been around for many years and a lot of transactions, a lot of knowledge, experience, wisdom. The guy is nice and easygoing and the type of who shares and always has suggestions and idea. A truly valuable resource, and I'm happy to have him at our events, talking about some market updates. By the way, go to our website, simplydoit.net, and click on events, and you'll be able to register to the event on May 8th in Irvine. Thank you for doing that. I hope to see you over there. And if you came through this video, just let me know that you did. I want to talk about this, what's happening or what's going on with the economy, or what should you do about it, because this is confusing, or I think there's a lot of misinterpretation of what's going on. And I'm going to share with you my take, my thoughts only. Right? So first of all, this is my interpretation. What I'm seeing is that the current administration, aka the Trump-Vance-Musk administration, is making major changes in the government, in government expenses, budget, etc. Right? So we see that and see how it is creating a lot of uncertainty, a lot of nervousness, a lot of people not sure where, about their job or about where the economy is heading, right? So there's no doubt this is creating a lot of unease with people. A lot of that is happening. It is related to people who work for the government, but it's also related to people who maybe are not directly employed by the government, but are indirectly employed by the government through a chain or level of government contract or contract to contract of government contracts, etc. Right? So there's a lot of nervousness. My personal interpretation, the way I see things, is that while in the next 6 months to 9 months, this is going to be a lot of major changes and creating a high level of uncertainty, I do think that in the long run, a year, 2 into the future, it actually will pay off. That is just my belief how this will end up being. I don't know, of course, it's just my guess. But I do want to share with you some of my experience and observation of being a real estate investor for the past 20 years. What I have seen over the years is that any period that there were a phase of uncertainty, and when I say uncertainty, I mean consumers are not in a comfort zone, and they are typically consumers being us as consumers, not us as investors necessarily, and they're not making any major financial decisions, not selling a house, not buying a house, not moving, that's what I mean by major financial decisions. We are in a phase, in a period of time where this is what's happening. A lot of people are waiting, sitting and waiting. Human nature is let's sit and wait and not do anything until we see what's going on or where things are heading. Now, why am I telling you this? Personally, I don't know what will end up with the economy in the short term or the long term, and if all those moves or changes the administration is doing, if they'll, what the result will be, highly successful, not successful, terrible, short term, long, I don't know, but I do know this. Anytime I've been in, for the past 20 years in a situation where I feel there's nothing I can do specifically besides debating. I can have a conversation with you. What's going to happen? You can agree with me. You can disagree with me. I can like your idea. I don't know, but that's a debate. That is a philosophical discussion. I am very poor with sticking with philosophical discussion because I never know how to draw conclusions, clear conclusions out of them and then go do something. Maybe you do, but I don't, or still don't, right? I'm still learning. What I do know is this. I'm a real estate person, right? I've been around real estate for the past 20 years. I know to look at the deal and say, great deal, good deal, bad deal, good deal, but if I make those little changes, it can turn into a great deal, right? Or better yet, here's a property that's sitting here, and if I can get it for this price, let's just say this price is, instead of buying it for 400, I can buy it for 350. They're asking 400. Let's just see if I can buy it for 460. If I am lucky and they're accepting this offer, then I am hedging. I'm doing some hedging into the deal by getting with some more equity from day one. So what I'm trying to say is, instead of trying to debate yes, no, high interest rate, low interest rate, which is a whole discussion that I don't get why people are so fixated about the interest rate when they don't see the bigger picture, right? If I can get a good house, and we are seeing those deals, I don't want to say they're landing on our laps, but we are seeing good opportunities that by us putting the time, attention into the details and trying different things, we are turning good opportunities to great opportunities, right? At least in our mind. And that means this is not, there's opportunities on the shelf. I need to reach, make sure everything is fine, and then I need to restructure, reconfigure a few things on financing, on pricing, whatever, maybe the way I'm going to rent it out, and then I can turn a good deal to a great deal if those terms are accepted. Maybe they won't accept it, and this is all theoretical, but that's what we do day in, day out. We don't just sit there. We are working through the details to turn a good deal into a great deal. And the reason this is easier for us to do these days, and when I say easier, I don't mean easier to do, I mean there's more receptiveness from the seller, right? The seller's agents are responding, are communicating, are negotiating, are willing to work something out. This is something I have not seen this kind of a pattern of behavior for many, many years up until the recent, few months. And that just tells me we are doing some sort of a shift from a seller's market for a few years that we've been through to a buyer's market, right? And if there's one thing that I can tell you that can work, and this is how all of what I'm saying coming together, anytime we are in a time where people are uncertain, there's uncertainty, people are not sure about something, they're kind of sitting on the sideline, those are usually amazing time to be assertive, to be certain, to go and make a deal happen, right? So if you're sitting and like, high interest rate, I don't know, I get it. It can be so confusing. But if you're kind of taking it down a notch and saying, interesting opportunity, can I get it for a lower price? Is there something creative I can do with financing? Is there something I can do creative with financing and a lower price? Oh my God, maybe I can list it back. Maybe I can do MTR. Maybe I can do this. All of a sudden, that deal becomes very interesting, right? So what I'm trying to say is, instead of being stuck in your mind and just coming up with, which amazes me, those conventional answers, like the economy is bad, Trump is doing is terrible. I get it, right? The interest rate is high, right? All true. What are you going to do about it, right? Instead of yelling those slogans, how about we bring it down and say, you know what? I'm going to use the fact that the economy is bad and Trump is terrible and the interest rate is high, and maybe it can work in my favor and I can buy and invest in real estate in times where everybody else is kind of cautious about it, right? So this is for me how I practice and what I do and the opportunities that I'm seeing. I can tell you that just this week, I am working on a VA loan assumption at a really good price, at a good location. I am in negotiation on a deal that is off market in a very, very demanded area, high demand area that I'm not sure even how I'm going to do it, but the opportunity is amazing. I just need to see how we're going to come with the creative financing on doing it. I am negotiating with a builder, a mid-sized builder in Florida, or for you guys on multiple properties in multiple locations of Florida, brand new being 2023 and 2024 build. So it's recent, high standard or recent building standard and codes, tenant occupied, they're cash flowing, they're way below market value. This is what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about. And this is where we put a lot of our time and attention to bring those deals to you and try to take it beyond the basic deal. There's nothing wrong for me with doing a plain, simple, nice house in a good area that we buy around market value and we rent it. This is for me, I love it. But if I can take this idea and take it up a notch and maybe get it for a better price, or maybe find a way how I can get more rent out of it, or maybe there's something I can do with the property, I don't know, or maybe I can negotiate as a bulk buyer and you can benefit from that discount. Oh, that it just means I'm taking a really simple, nice deal and taking it up a notch. You guys, thank you for taking the time and listening, right? Me blabbering about this. My point, my message is, investing is pragmatic. This house, yes, this house, no. This house, maybe, right? This is it, right? So instead of being stuck there, if you're not sure, if you're listening to this and you're a little bit confused, you know what to do. I'm right here. I'm having conversations like this one with you on a weekly basis. Some of those conversations are just to open up the mind or, address some of those concerns you have. Some of those conversations, I get it. I'm just not sure what to do next. Can you help me outline what is the best next step or steps? Some of those conversations, I get it. I understand what you're saying. Can you help me outline the roadmap of the multiple things I need to do? Sell this house, do a 1031 exchange, wait until this house is, the tenant, moves out, something like this, kind of prep, and then we can, use that conversation just to start prepping you to the next step that you're going to take, ideally with real estate. You know where I am. You know how to get a hold of me. I can't wait to speak with you and kind of help you figure out your next step that will benefit you. Thank you very much for taking the time. I hope to talk to you soon, and I hope to really see you on May 8th in person if you're in Southern California. I want to wish you a terrific rest of your day. Thank you very much for watching and sticking all the way to almost 15 minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.